Hi there. I just wanted to do an honest review of Motorhome Depot. Um, just let you know how we got on with them and that. You know, you see good and bad written in lots of these forums. I've got a few notes here to help me. So if I do look down now and again, it's because I can't remember what to say, so I've written it down. Right, so in January this year, we decided we was going to retire. We only had 8 more mortgage payments left to make. We decided that's it, going to give up work, going to do some travelling, and we're going to go a bit beyond Europe this time. And to fund that, we were going to sell the motorhome. So we decided that we'd get it put on the market. We weren't sure what to do about selling it. You know, do we put it on eBay? Do we put it on Auto Trader? You know, etc. And we decided, because it was January and we thought we got a few months to experiment, we'll give Motorhome Depot a try. So now there is good and bad said about Motorhome Depot, but you've got to base yourself on the facts and figures. You know, they're rated excellent on Trustpilot, you know, and they've got a review of the rating is 4.8 out of 5 on 3,266 reviews. So based on that, you know, we thought we'd give them a try. The other reason we gave them a try is we wanted to get away from the hassle of if you sell anything on eBay, you've got to fend off some of the people that lurk around eBay, some of the chances, etc. And we didn't want the hassle of doing viewings, negotiating with people and vetting the people that actually contacted us for you know, about the motorhome. And we thought, let's give it to somebody else to try. So we decided to send in an inquiry, went on the Motorhome Depot website, got a call back within an hour, and our local agent from the Nottingham area, Teresa, came out and saw us within a week, took a lot of pictures of the van and evaluated how much it was worth. Now, I must say that the value she gave us, I thought was over the top, to be quite honest. I thought it was extremely optimistic, and we'll come back to that in a bit. So we had to make sure our part in the bargain is, before she came out, we had to make sure it was clean and tidy, take everything out of it so it looked like it would if it was a dealer's, and depersonalise it in every way, which we did. The sun was shining the day she came. I'll show you here now, scrolling away underneath, and you'll see the advert that was written. Now, to be honest, I was very happy with the advert. I was happy with the advert, happy with the write-up. It went up to the top of the listings as a new advert on their depot, on the Motorhome Depot website. And I did look at the time, there were 764 vans in the UK on the website there. So it was 64 pages worth. And I did look, there were 7 auto trailing Marlers, not all the same as ours. There was one the same as ours for a similar price, and the others were different configurations. So not really the same van, to be quite honest with you. And I was generally happy with it. So let's just explain. Now, what I've got to do is, first of all, explain the concept of how Motorhome Depot make their money, because this is important. So what they do is they price themselves somewhere in between a dealer's and private. Price wise, they make their money by charging you a broker's fee, and they also sell some add-ons to customers if they want them. So they'll they'll get a hab check carried out, for which I should imagine they get a few pound paid. They'll arrange finance for you, they'll arrange warranties for you, and they'll also do Part X. But considering they don't carry any stock that I know of, the Part X, I would imagine, is where they just go to a dealer and ask how much he'll give for it. And now the broker's fee is expensive, I think. Right now, you get charged 1% or 1.5% roughly by an estate agent. So if an estate agent selling you a house for £400,000, he's getting £4,000 fee. Motorhome Depot's fee for us to sell our van at roughly 50,000 was 3,000. So I think that's a little bit steep, really, to be quite honest with you. What do they have to pay out of that? Well, they pay they advertise it on their own website, so I suppose there's a cost for that. They advertise it on eBay, Auto Trader, and I'm not sure if they do some on Gumtree or not, but they generally advertise it quite far and wide, but only in the same way that an estate agent would advertise a house on Zoopla or Rightmove or something like that. Okay, so we put it on. It was all right, but I did say it was too high. Couple of weeks later, I had a phone call from Teresa saying it's not really generated any interest. So we agreed to drop the price by £3,000, and we got it back down to what I thought was a reasonable price. The other thing that Motorhome Depot do, which I suppose is great, is they take the hassle out of finding buyers, etc. So before they actually let somebody have a look at the van, they do a bit of due diligence on them, talk to them, find out if they've got the cash, what they're going to do about finding it, etc. And then they do the bookings for the viewings. And from what I see of it, that sort of filters out the chances and those who are coming round to give the tyres a kick and offer you, or pretend there's some damp in there and offer you 10 grand less or something like that. Your contract to Motorhome Depot is 90 days. Ours was 90 days as well. And after, you have to give them 30 days notice if you want to quit that contract. And the thing with that is that you can give them notice at 60 days so that the 30 days runs itself out for when you get to the 90 days minimum contract. And it is on a no duck, no dinner basis. So if they don't sell it, then at the end of the 90 days, you both walk away, nobody pays a fee or anything. And the bit you have to remember is the guys that are your local rep are actually franchisees. So they pay Motorhome Depot for their area and where they're going to operate. And so at the end of our 90 days with them, and that will come on into a minute to whether we sold it with them or not. At the end of our 90 days with them, we were sort of in negotiations with a guy who was umming and ahhing about buying it, and he might have done and might not. And I chatted to Teresa about it, and she said basically she's the franchisee, it's up to her. And so we just went, myself and her went formally though, onto sort of a 7-day rolling contract. So I just had to give a 7 days notice. And that's because this guy was in negotiations over buying it. And also she said there'd been another couple of expressions of interest. So I thought I didn't want to cut my nose off to spite my face. So I just said, but I didn't want to go back into another large contract. She was happy with that. And that all worked out fine. Right. So did I sell it with them? No, I didn't. And what's the reasons for that then? Right, well, I think there's a number of reasons. We stayed with them for just over 90 days, something like that. So it was January 2023 when we advertised the motorhome, and we just then, well, we were in financially the country was in a bit of a mess. It was, cost of living crisis. Inflation was running at over 10%. Interest rates were rising every month. And I personally think the motorhome market had slowed down a little bit. I was told it hadn't, but the value of vans that are being sold had. So they said that there was still shifting a lot of motorhomes and camper vans, but lower value ones rather than the more expensive ones. I also think that the configuration of our van didn't help, because our van was, even though there's only two of us, our van was a 6-berth van, and the people, which sort of like appealed to the family market, and the people who would have bought our van were family people or people with young kids, and I think they were the people who were most hit by the financial crisis, to be honest with you. They had less disposable income effectively available, so that I think there was less customers. Our van was rated so that it required a C1 license as well. sort of during the month of April, I got that down plated to 3.5 tons, so it was back into the normal league for everyday car licenses, which probably helped matters a little bit. And also, I think the configuration of our van was a little bit dated. Although it was 5 years old, it didn't have the rear garage. It still had the little slot compartments underneath the bed on each side. So it didn't have a big rear garage, which a lot of people seem to want these days. And the other thing that we consciously done is we hadn't got an awning put on it, because in our previous vehicle we'd only ever pulled the awning out about 6 times in the 4 years we had the previous one. So we didn't bother to get one for this as well. So I think the configuration might have been a little bit wrong for the modern market, but nonetheless, we didn't sell it with Motorhome Depot. And at the end of, I don't know, sort of 100 days, what happened was I decided to go my separate ways with them. I had a look at all the other adverts that were on eBay and on Motorhome Depot. I staged the van a little bit better than some of the other ones on there, made it look a little bit more homely and friendly, laid all the cushions out, put the table in just the right place, took lots of different photos, advertised it on eBay only, and I had a few inquiries on eBay. I had the customary Irish man whose mate's coming around the corner definitely wants to buy it, and the very first thing he says is, what's the price, what's your best price, what's your best price? And I had a couple of inquiries from people with no feedback whatsoever, who'd only joined 5 minutes before, so I thought I just didn't bother to answer them. But after 10 days or so, a genuine guy from down south contacted me, said it was just what he was looking for him and his wife and his grandchildren. And we chatted on the phone for quite a bit, and he said he was almost certain he wanted it, and 3 days later he arranged to come up on the train. I picked him up from the station at Grantham. He came and had a look at it, was very happy with it. I showed him how everything worked, and he drove it away. We did the bank transfer at our house. He seemed like a genuine guy. He'd got a business anyway, so I was able to look him up and everything first. He looked me up a little bit as well, because he was telling me some things he'd seen about me, which is fair enough because I've got nothing to hide. And then the great thing is that, after 2 or 3 hours here, the bank transfer is a bit painful, because even though we're both in Santander, there's some security alerts. He tried to transfer too much money. I think the problem was he transferred us £1 first to check that the details were all correct, and then tried to transfer us the money, and we all thought that was a good idea, and apparently security think that's a bad idea, because that's what scammers do. They try £1, see if it works, and then they empty your bank account. So that didn't work well. But anyway, we gave him all the books, gave him all the stuff. He's disappeared with it. He's very happy. So what's my verdict to Motorhome Depot? I think they're okay. Right, now we didn't sell it with them, right? And I think that the reason we didn't sell it with them is because they're overpriced a little bit. I sold mine on eBay because what I effectively did is I took the price that Motorhome Depot had it advertised for, I removed the broker's fee and advertised it for that. So I would still get the same return, but I would have to deal with the people with the adverts instead of Motorhome Depot doing it, and I had to take the chance on the transfer of funds, etc., which I was generally happy to do, to be quite honest with you. So I think, how much would I give them out of 5? I'd give them 4.5 out of 5, and they could get the other half if they got the pricing a little bit together better. I think they're being a tiny bit greedy on the prices they're charging, and they're a tiny bit greedy on the fees. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Clearly there'll be no more motorhome pictures, but I'll tell you what, we're going travelling in September, and there's going to be a lot of footage of us doing the Camino for 6 weeks in September, and there's also going to be a lot of footage of us in November, because we're going out to Thailand until we're going Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Malaysia, Cambodia. We're going out to all of them until November till April. So we're going to put a lot of footage on of our silver gap year. Thanks for watching.